Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the On the Hut podcast. Us guys here on the podcast want to send prayers out to Damar Hamlin, safety for the Buffalo Bills, who had that incident last night. We hoping for a speedy recovery. We got all the faith and prayers to you, my man. I just hope the best for you, man. And everybody, how you doing today? Other than that, how you doing, Elijah? What's going
I
on, brother?
I am doing very well, my friend, and just want to echo what you said. Obviously, thoughts and prayers going out to Damar Hamlin and his family. Hoping that we all get good news on him, and it just goes further as far as what we always say about football. The football is family, and I think we all are feeling for Damar, and we're wishing him the best. Obviously, this week is a big week for Lions football, so I'm excited to be doing a show with a game that really, really matters coming up on Sunday night. So I'm looking forward to that. Reggie, how are you feeling about everything, my friend?
I was a bit overwhelmed with what happened with Demar last night. It's really scary to see stuff like that. Because you have to be a human being first. But like you said, we all want to send our prayers out to him and his family, and hope for the best. But until then, we just have to do what we can. Send positive vibes and then go on from there. How you feeling about it, Nate?
Um, Being a guy who's played it, I've seen injuries, been part of injuries. It always hits you, um, whether it's a hard one or not. Like I say, football is family. So I definitely want to send all the goodwill wishes, all the prayers, everything, you know, from the grace to mercy from the big man upstairs to continue to watch over him. And just tell his family, just don't lose faith. So after that, y'all, we got us a contest.
That's right. Yeah, we do have a contest going on, and we are getting very, very close to being able to finally give away that Apple Series 3 watch. We told you a few episodes back that we are going to do that once we hit 350 subscribers. Right now, we're at 308 subscribers, so we are close, very, very close to being able to release this contest, be able to release this item to our winner. And here's how you win if you're just joining us. The game's not over, okay? All you got to do is be the person who brings us the most new subscribers. And then once we hit 350, we're going to go back through our last few videos, and we're going to see, who is saying who brought them, because that's the whole part of it. If Nate brings us a subscriber, he's got to tell that person, make sure you comment and say, I'm the one that brought you. Otherwise, I don't get the credit, okay?
Better compete against me.
That's right. And Nate's brought a lot of people to the table already. So, again, once we hit 350, we'll be giving away that Apple Series 3 watch. And right now, we're at 308. We're feeling great. And we're looking forward to hitting that 350 number. Again, thank you to everybody who has supported. And maybe you're saying, hey, I don't really know a lot of people, and I really want that watch. Give me an idea of what I can do to get people to subscribe. It's real simple. Share it on Facebook. Share it on your Twitter, share it on your Instagram, wherever it is that you do social media. Share it and say, hey guys, can you go and subscribe and let them know that I sent you? Most of the time people will do it if you're nice about it. So again, that's just an idea for folks who want to participate but don't have a massive group of friends. Because I can tell you right now, there's been a lot of people who have subscribed, but there's not been a lot of people who are telling us who are bringing them. So again, this is wide open still. So again, we'll be giving that away at 350 subscribers. Again, right now we're at 308, and it's feeling pretty good. Right now, what we want to do is we want to go into game impressions. Obviously, we had a big game against the Bears. It's one of those where you go up in your cupboard, you grab that can of whoop ass out, and you just open it up on all of their players. And Bobby Bless, my friend, I know your manager is a Bears fan. He's smiling already. Tell us how you feeling.
Look, brother, I'm super petty, so I'm at work. I'm asking the boss, like, hey, I got the broom because we swept them Bears, right? So I
Oh!
got the broom. I got the broom. Hey man, you need me to sweep anything? As soon as I clocked in, I'm petty like that. As soon as I clocked in, hey, you need a Lions fan? You need us to sweep anything else real quick? And he's like, oh, I see what you want. But make a long story short, man, it's just good that all the shit that I talked at work about the Lions, about the Bears beating the Bears, we actually swept the Bears. I'm happy with that. The boss he buying lunch on Thursday. And my wife in the background, we got beef.
Ain't nobody
We gonna
studying
get
that back, girl.
yeah, hey, we got beef with her right now, so we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna cross that bridge later. But make a long story short, we beat the Bears. The game looked good. Jared Goff looked like he breaking records and stuff. So Jared Goff looked like the guy we need to beat when we in that dome. So I hope we can just save some of that what we had going for Lambeau Field next week and for Sunday night. But other than that, my friends, Elijah, I know you love the game, man. How you feel about it, big dog?
So I felt great. However, I will say that I felt like it was a tale of the haves and the have-nots. Because on one side of the field, you saw a quarterback who has a good offensive line, a good wide receiving core, really great running backs.
Hey, she want to talk shit from the sideline. She don't want to come over here, though.
Well, she had ample opportunity. She had ample opportunity.
Right. Don't try to
Yeah, man.
Man,
I sent her a message to stir the soup, man. She gave me the evil eye the whole way to stir that damn soup, man.
Okay.
It's real in the battlefield over here, man.
So
real
listen,
talk. I gotta make. She said we ain't gonna sweep them.
Man, you better grab your broom because it's a mess. Anyway. So my thoughts were have-nots. Jared Goff, he's got a supporting cast. Justin Fields, man, like if there was a program where you could report an NFL team for quarterback abuse, I would report the Chicago Bears right now because they are putting this kid through it for no reason. I mean, no reason. I mean, he had a historic season this year, and if he had anything of an offense, I mean, they're out there running it like high school where you got one-star player and everybody else sucks. And then when you get beaten the first round of the playoffs, you go, what happened? We went 10-0 in the regular season. Yeah. And then people realize you stopped that one guy. I mean, that's what they're out there doing. And it is sad to watch. Now, granted, I'm happy as a Lions fan, but as a football fan, that's sad to watch. But hey, let's talk about the people who have it. Okay. My Detroit Lions, they needed to come out and set the tone. They needed to say, listen, we are not the kittens with mittens. We are the kittens with boxing gloves. And they came out there and they played exactly like they needed to. Okay. Listen, I'm trying to make good t-shirts here. You got kittens with mittens.
Hey, we not the kittens with mittens. We are the kittens with boxing gloves.
The kid can fit his whole body inside a boxing glove.
I'm about to give you the 1-2 meow. Anyway,
1-2 meow.
So anyway, we are looking for perfection this week. Okay, we'll stop it.
Oh no!
My point is, I love the game. I love the fact that Jared Goff did not have gloves on. That was the first indication that it was going to be a good day. And I'm praying that they don't ever let that man touch a pair of gloves ever again. That's my.
Why you bring that up? Lord have mercy, man. Because I was just getting over that.
As soon as they showed him on Fox, I saw his hands and I saw they didn't have gloves on them, and I went, okay, Bob is going to watch this game. But anyway.
I'm watching Sunday night, too. You better not wear them then either.
We're going to toss it over here to Nate the Great, who loves all of my kitten references. Nate, go ahead.
Yeah. Jared Goff didn't have his mittens on.
That's right.
And them boys went out there and they, as you said, man, being a football fan, a sports fan, seeing what's being done to Justin Fields is a catastrophe. Like, dude, y'all could just trade me now. Their team is so bad. They took a handoff from the tight end, took the snap and pitched it to Justin Fields.
I did see that. That was crazy.
Oh, listen, you have he got hit so many times. His ass didn't even want to get up no more. Look. Actually, when you've been hit so hard, they say, you know what? How about this? We're going to bring the blue tint to you, just to make sure.
They did. Don't move. We got you.
Don't move. Don't move, dog. Don't move. Please don't move. My Lions, man, they came out and they gave up the first score. Like, I know people seen Justin Fields with 100 yards in the first quarter and said, "Oh my God, this is about to be bad." And I keep telling people, man, you gotta pump your brakes a little bit. One thing that people, if they have not learned, you have to give Dan Campbell more credit and his staff, because they make adjustments. They have made adjustments so good that from the beginning of the year, when they were 1-6, till now, the expectations for them losing, the expectation, even if they're trailing, is, oh, that ain't shit. Mm-hmm. That's the confidence factor. So, guess what? Cater wasn't playing no shit with them Cubs.
Hey.
Reggie Reg. Where's our big fella at? Is he here?
That was so abusive to what the Lions did. Yeah.
It was
like, bro, if you talk about having a short memory after that loss we took from Carolina, everything they gave us, we had it to Chicago. But that's what I'm talking about. Gotta have that short-term memory. Can't dwell on the past. We got goals that we can still reach, new goals that we can reach. And right now, I know Aaron Rodgers better be looking out. This is about to get real ugly. Yeah.
Aaron Poe, your day of reckoning is coming. You hear that, Packer girl? It's a coming. Nigga.
So all I'm looking forward to is, watching.
You've been talking shit all week too, man.
I'm gonna enjoy watching Aaron Rodgers run for his life. Sunday. We hand him that L. So you know what? I love to hear him cry. He cries so much with such no way. I didn't really realize it until this year.
I hear that the key to never aging is just a glass vial of Aaron Rodgers tears, just a little bit under the eyes.
We've been on this mind ever since we beat him.
Right.
He's bringing us up randomly. I'm like, no, what we?
We're not the same old Lions. We're not the same old Lions.
Hey, look, he had to keep that. I'm telling you, that's Cameron. Let's put the bunny down.
He not used to licking our boot heels.
Whoa!
Whoa! Boot heel. My birthday is July 29th.
Yeah, right now he's looking up from the flat of his back.
I'm gonna have to hit the not for kids button again. Oh my goodness.
So with that in mind, we're gonna kick it over to me again by the numbers.
Hey,
just how bad did it get? So we're gonna start with the defense. You know what? Aaron Rodgers, he already shaking in his boots. So fellas,
okay,
who do you think led us in defensive grade this week?
I'm sorry.
Aiden Hutchinson.
You got Aiden Hutchinson. What about you, Jar Jar?
Oh, Misa, big doo-doo this time.
Misa cha-cha beats.
Oh man.
I'm gonna say Aiden Hutchinson.
So Aiden Hutchinson. Who you got, Bobby?
My answer.
Houston. Giants Houston.
Okay. So we starting on 2 for 3. Good job so far. Aiden Hutchinson definitely led us in defensive grade this week at 90.7. James Houston was second at 85.1, so still a good job, Bobby. And it,
Three.
of course, you got to make
I
mention.
just brought the damn. I just got the damn Aiden Hutchinson jersey and still didn't even get a motherfucker no love, man. That's fine.
We're 2 for 3. This is the best we've ever done. I just want to point that out.
To start off, absolutely. Of course, James Houston had 3 sacks on the day. And a lot of this stuff that has to do with James Houston and why he didn't actually lead the team in grade is because he doesn't play as many snaps as everybody else.
Exactly.
He doesn't get as many chances to affect the game. To tell you the truth, I really think when this kid becomes a full-time starter, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
He tackled the left tackle. He tackled the tackle and
The quarterback
Justin Field at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Now, the funny thing is, I think yesterday was his first start ever.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's his first start. So first start ever, the kid had 3 sacks. So he's making it to where I don't really want us to get a DN. Just let that kid do his thing.
He got some speed.
And get a nice,
surprisingly
get
fast.
another D tackle or a linebacker.
Definitely go get him some love on the den. We definitely gonna give him some love.
Yeah.
So for pass rushing grade, who do you guys have?
Houston, he got 3. Houston.
So Houston across the board?
Hutch.
So 2 for 3 again.
Come on now. We're doing so great.
James Houston.
New year, new us.
I finally got one.
Him and Hutchinson actually flipped spots. So it was 91.6 for pass rush grade, and Aiden had 85.9.
Man, that's one hell of a draft, Brad Holmes. Oh my God, man.
That is 4 out of 6.
Tell it again.
Man,
That is 4 out of 6, by the way, for the On the Hunt team.
Who is Thibodeau?
That's a guy from the Giants.
Who's that?
Remember, if you have it, you better get it checked out by a doctor.
Who there? Who done it? Who did it? Who there?
Oh, Bobby, I heard you was going to the NFL. First round pick. What? Don't be stupid.
So this one's going to be a curveball. Who do y'all think led the team in coverage grade this week?
Man, see, that's why I don't like this game. Like, we started getting confident, and then all of a sudden, here comes.
Yeah, I can't just let you go confident like that.
All right,
I'm gonna take. No. I'm gonna take Melifonwu.
Okay.
All right.
Elijah, who you got?
I'm gonna say Jeff Okudah because I don't remember we held them to under 100 yards passing. I know that.
Okay, so you got Okudah. Bobby, who you got?
Coverage.
You got the interception.
Jacobs.
You got Jacobs.
Hutchinson.
We got Jacobs. We got
It could be. I forgot he got an interception, man.
Well, I was gonna say him, but like I'm going based on amount of snaps at that position,
And ever since Nate told me that he's the best on our defense at reading and reacting, he's been doing that shit every week.
Oh, you so.
Yes, you did.
0 for 3.
No.
It was Kirby Joseph.
And it's insult to injury because we're talking about an SVU victim.
No, it was not a Warrior.
It was a Warrior.
What?
Oh!
No! He waited.
81.1.
Why did he have to wait till this part of the season to show up?
Hey.
Justin Fields wasn't even throwing the ball.
Hey.
So,
that helps. That helps you. If I'm out there and they don't throw the ball my way, I'm a great cornerback, right? Anyway.
Hey.
He must not know. He must not know what we know.
Will Harris came in second at 79.4. Melifonwu was third at 74.9.
Damn, I was close. So guess what?
I was gonna say Will Harris, but I didn't want to go full Will Harris. You feel me? I didn't want to go there because he a bum.
Yeah, Okudah was
a bum. I can't never answer him, man.
At 67.0. So it's worth noting that we hurried Fields 21 times.
21
times.
The one time he ran over to the sideline, he was just standing there by the little camera thing, just like, man.
I bet you, just like Russell Wilson, he was running on the team plane. He tried to
Yeah.
run, get away.
Man.
And we had a total of 32 pressures.
Wow.
And so that
Yeah, that's to get back to.
Like the movie Jaws. Just every time he took a snap, he just heard Jaws. Oh God.
Yeah.
So
Hell
Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers is gonna be carrying around that blue tent Sunday.
Oh yeah.
He's just gonna be walking around with it. Like it's about to be a wrap.
Talk about some put the tent down.
Put the tent down. So we're gonna kick it over to our offense. So who you think led the offense and offensive grade this week, Bobby?
DeAndre Swift. That's the best game I like.
So we got
not
Swift.
As far as like total, not as far as like yards or totals, nothing. He looked explosive. I think he looked like the guy that I always wanted him to be, man. So I'm gonna say Swift.
Okay. So we got Swift, Jar Jar.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the sun guy.
So say Brown.
Amon-Ra is never a bad pick. I will say that. It's never a bad pick to just say Amon-Ra. Like he led the team in offensive grade.
He be balling, man. I like him. He
At
one of my
least
favorite
75% of the season. Who you got, Elijah?
Okay, so I'm gonna go running back, but I'm not gonna go Swift. I'm gonna go Jamal Williams because I think he is that guy for us. So I'm gonna say Jamal Williams.
Okay.
I was looking, I review the film for us guys just to look at stuff to put on our channel on the YouTube. And Jamal Williams is out there blocking like a MF with the
always do.
He caught the
man.
ball.
Yeah, and he caught the pass.
He caught the ball.
He blocked like a lineman. He blocked like a
almost
lineman.
dropped it. He caught it like a granny, but he caught it.
He fell to the first down like boop. I watched that too. Yeah,
he learned how to run.
Jamal Williams had a hell of a game. That was a good pick, Elijah.
But they got better hands than Jamal do.
Yeah, he do. He do.
So I actually went 1 for 3.
Oh, give it to him.
Come on.
It was DeAndre Swift.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
No. Yes.
DeAndre Swift 90.3. Was his offensive grade this week.
Yes.
Jamal Williams came in third at 84.3, and Amon-Ra was fourth at 83.6.
He always gonna be.
So you can say that's why I say you can never go wrong.
Impressive. That is impressive when you're fourth and you have a grade of an 83. Yeah. That shows how impressive this guy's.
Yeah. And really what makes his grade sit where it is, talking about Amon-Ra, he had a run blocking grade of 81.0 this week.
I think that too.
Look, man, when you got wide receivers that want to block,
all of them. Hey, you know who used to not even Kenny Galladay. There used to be this wide receiver who loved to block. Like he would come to the sideline and be excited about his blocks.
Hey, and Quan Bolden. Remember he was on our team? He used to
but he wasn't even the guy. The guy was Brandon Marshall. Marshall.
Pittsburgh.
Not Pittsburgh. He would come to the sideline like, whoa, you see how I laid his ass out?
Between
how George Pickens for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Brandon Marshall and Hines Ward. Hines Ward was the best blocking wide receiver I probably ever seen in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
He wasn't just blocking you; he was putting you on your back.
Yeah,
and I would say second, Anquan Bolden.
Yeah, Anquan Bolden was a beast. But hey, when St. Brown College film, I was watching it, and every time on a running play, he would always be in a fight after the goddamn whistle because he played to the end all the way through the whistle.
And it's crazy.
He must be a dirty motherfucker, but at least he on our team.
So it is worth noting Jamal Williams had a total of 157 total yards on Sunday and a touchdown.
How was his pass blocking?
117 total yards and 2 touchdowns.
How was Jamal pass blocking numbers, Guru? I just interested because I every time I was watching him pass
You
block,
come out this week?
yeah, this week if you don't mind,
Matter of fact, I just asked the
he
question.
was jumping out on film. He was jumping out on film. I just want to see if
Running
the
back, do
film
you
matched the
think led the
numbers.
team in pass blocking this week?
I think it was Jamal.
Think it was
I think it
Jamal?
was Jamal.
I think it was too, but
You sure?
I don't know. Was Jamal in on enough passing plays?
I'm going to say
It had to be Swift. And Swift
Craig
got a
Reynolds.
90. Yeah,
Craig Reynolds
and
blocking. Best blocking back, Craig Reynolds.
And Swift got into the 90s.
give it to
So you got hold on. Elijah, who you got?
Craig Reynolds.
Bobby, who you got?
Swift, because if he got into the 90s, pass blocking had to be up there too.
And Binky, who
I'm
you
going
got?
to take. I'm gonna take Frank the Tank.
No,
No, we talking about out of running back.
pass blocking running back.
Well, fuck.
Swift got 90. He had to be pass
Okay,
blocking.
yeah. Then I got Jamal, but I think it is gonna be Craig Reynolds though. No, wait. Jackson.
1-3.
But what? No, I'm trying to think of the numbers. Who is Craig Reynolds? 46.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck Craig Reynolds.
No, you said no.
Okay, I'll take Jamal. That's fine. I'll take Jamal.
Okay. It's 1 for 3. It is 1 for 3. It was Craig Reynolds.
Yeah.
Look. That's what I said. I was gonna take it,
crazy.
but I just let you have because Craig Reynolds, man, every time on that play action, man, he was lighting their ass up. When
Yeah, he was. He was.
So he had a blocking grade of 79.9. Jamal was right behind him at 79.1. And Swift did a good job. He was at 73.4. So
that's anything in the 70s for
now,
anything
Taylor Decker
is pretty decent.
Taylor Decker led the offense at 89.3 in pass blocking.
Mhm.
And Frank Ragnar was behind him at 84.0.
Okay.
I seen the stat that our line gave up the second least sacks in the whole league, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
So
That's
who do
wild.
you think led the team in run blocking this week?
Frank.
Oh, St. Brown. St. Brown.
So Bobby got St. Brown.
It had to be St. Brown. Ain't no
You got
way.
Elijah.
I'm gonna give it up for one of our guards. I'm gonna say Evan Brown.
Yeah, I didn't hear his name. He didn't get caught for no penalties or
I'm
nothing.
taking Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. Okay. So 1 for 3 again. It was Amon Ra.
Thank you. Hey, I'm doing good today.
No, we need a progressive.
Hey, that's 3 right answers.
We need a
That is
progressive
3
replay.
right answers.
Is 81.0. Ragnar was 4th at 71.7. Brown was 10th at 61.8.
Oh, Elijah, you need some milk.
Okay.
But what's significant about this week, it was 2 wide receivers that led the team in run blocking this week. It was Amon Ra and Josh Reynolds.
I don't know how I feel about that.
80.1.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of I don't imagine that's good.
Hey, we got a physical team.
Because when you think about it, most of their blocks, when you give them wide receivers, the Lions do a lot of crackback blocks.
Yeah.
A lot of crack blocks and
a lot of pulling too. A lot of pulling.
Yeah. So when you see the Lions, what they do really well, Amon Ra or whoever that X wide receiver is always close to that tight end. Always. So they always get that point out. Even Jameson Williams is out there blocking. You gotta love.
Hey Nate, they got rid of T.J. Hawkinson. He was the only motherfucker on the team.
That goddamn
blocking.
That Hawkins shit wasn't shit. We kept telling y'all.
And y'all remember in the earlier episode, I said, man, they block so much, it really gonna put a lot of spotlight on T.J. Hawkinson as being soft. And I'm telling you, we got rid of him. Now everybody blocking. The tight end is the best. Right. Wide open. They be wide open.
I remember telling Nate and Bobby we should get rid of TJ. I think that was like
yeah.
I said,
And I also remember you
ain't
trying to
shit.
buy a Hawkinson jersey too.
Yeah.
Hawkinson jersey for $160.
No, I was telling y'all from the beginning. I said you might as well get rid of him. He ain't worth it. Go back and watch those episodes. I promise you, you'll find me. Just keep watching till you find me say it.
Yeah,
So-
but like in the
We're
first
gonna
time
get
in a
so many
long
views
time.
on our old episodes now. We're gonna be like, why is episode 1 got so many extra views? Because people are looking for the moment when Elijah said that. Yeah, you just keep
Right.
watching, it'll happen.
Hey,
Episode
So-
and for
21.
the first time in a long time, we can actually say we don't have a soft team. We played this whole season hitting everybody in the mouth, no problem. We do not have a soft
Patricia,
team.
who?
Man, we
Fucking
not a
fat
finesse
baloney.
team. Yeah, we not a finesse team, but we got speed too, man. It's just real
We got
balance right
grit.
now on the level.
3 toes. It don't matter. 3 toes and 1 ass cheek. We kicking your ass.
You know the funny thing about it, 2 things I want to bring up. 5 total touchdowns in the last 2 weeks out of tight ends.
Yeah.
That don't show you that we
They wide open. They wide open.
But the two-way production that you're getting out of tight ends is what's really great. Now, I did want to give a shout out to Jared Goff. This is his highest passer rating of the year, 133.5.
Yeah, he
He
was
dropping
almost
dimes.
perfect. I think he only had
He was
3
dropping dimes.
He was,
Yeah,
21 for 29 for 255 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He was only sacked once.
and that was his fault. He pulled a Stafford. He held onto the damn ball forever.
Yeah, holding the ball too damn long. But
his second highest
he
game
beats off that play action. He beats off that play action. He might be one of the best quarterbacks in the league off the play action.
The second highest passer rating was actually against Washington earlier this year, 121.7. So,
I will give that to Stafford. Stafford is the best play action quarterback in the league.
So I'm gonna kick it over to Elijah. He can get us over to our next segment.
Yes, thank you very much, Reggie. As always, great job on the by the numbers, my friend. We are going to switch over to a little bit of college football right now. And yeah, Nate is showing off the booty. That's right. He's showing you the booty. Anyway, we're going to college football right now. We're going to go back a week ago. And as I told the guys back then, I kept receipts based on what we said was going to happen with these college football playoffs. And, well, most of us were wrong, myself included. But I wanted to give you, we'll go game by game here. So first up, let's talk about Michigan TCU. Let's just rip that Band-Aid off. That one's going to hurt the worst. Reggie said that Michigan was going to beat TCU 37-24. Nate said that Michigan was going to beat TCU 38-17. Bobby actually picked TCU to beat Michigan 31-24. And I said that it was going to be a close game, that it was going to go to overtime. And I had predicted Michigan with the victory 31-28. In case you don't watch college football, here's what actually happened. TCU ended up beating Michigan 51-45. So congratulations to Bobby Bless on getting that one right. All of us who picked Michigan are pretty sad about that. I think the person who is the most sad about it, though, might have something to say for y'all, would be Nate Rucker, who is a Michigan fan. So Nate, as we put to bed this Michigan season that started with such promise, I have to ask, with all due respect, what the hell happened?
Well, we got beat by some horny toes. That's all. You know, we got beat by some horny toes. Look at we could not stop the big play, but like I said, you know, TCU does have the best wide receiver in all of college football. Remember, I told y'all that. He is, when you think of Megatron, it is Quentin Johnson. 6'4", 6'4.5", 230 pounds. He's going to run a 4.4. Good hands, good burst, strong. And we just couldn't stop the big plays. But for the record, I am Georgia and Michigan fan. So, you know, he balled out. I mean, you didn't have to remind me, Elijah. I had it tested. Thank you. I got enough tattoos. It's written on one of them. So, Yeah. As a reminder, yes, he did have 6 completions, 163 yards. At one point, he had 2 completions for 80 yards. So it was like, dog, what the hell? So, but again, man, it's one of those things. But 13-1 is not a bad season. Hell, we could have been a yellow jacket. Thank God for that. On to
Oh, shit. Oh, got him. Got him.
I got 2 feelings. And you hurt both of them.
Shots fired.
Unfair. Okay, so hey, let me throw in real quick on TCU, on the TCU side of things. Their quarterback, Duggan, he didn't have the greatest game in the world, but I don't know. I have a lot of respect for him after that game with the way that he played, because I've seen a lot of teams when they're playing that matchup that feels like David and Goliath, that game that they're not supposed to win on paper. I see a lot of teams like that. They'll get a lead and then they'll play not to lose. And TCU didn't do that. Every time Michigan scored,
they had some help.
They did. But for me, I have a lot of respect for Duggan, and I think that he might be worth a look as a backup quarterback option.
No.
Because I think he's a baller. I really do.
No, they had help.
Well, okay. Listen.
If we want a backup quarterback, then we should go ahead and get the crew chief, who's from Ohio State.
Oh, damn!
Angry folks. Okay, so
it's a proven fact. It was all everywhere. The head judge. Guess where he's from?
Ohio State.
There you go.
And you know what? That last ball 2 yards.
It was targeting.
That was textbook
targeting.
That was textbook targeting.
And I feel like the only reason why they did not continue that game is because somebody had dinner reservations. That's the only reason I can think of, because that fumble.
The fumble, TCU was offsides. The guy threw the flag, and then they said, "Oh no, that was by mistake. We went to throw a beanbag." Shut up.
Okay, so we got to give Bobby Bless his moment to shine here, though, because he is the only one of us who.
He's from Ohio.
He's the only one of us who picked.
I picked against Ohio State too.
Ohio people do not
so
get.
Bobby,
I picked against Ohio State too, though.
Bobby,
Cheetah. Hey, wait, hey, remember the Titans? Cheetah.
Look, on some real, it was I think, believe it or not, I think Michigan got into a game that they normally don't, trying to match match TCU, big play for big play. They ain't run the ball at all because Michigan is a running team. I ain't see them running the ball at all. Of course, with them calls, what Nate said, but I think it was mostly Michigan not keeping to what they got there, and them big games like that, you want to stick to what got you there. And I think even though it was working because of how many points they put up, I think if they run the ball more, they give TCU less big plays just by running the ball more. So I'm gonna say the fact that obviously Michigan got some talent, but I think Michigan need a little better receivers on the outside. I think they're kind of slow on as a receiver. But as far as they got a good quarterback, they got a good system. I think they went away from what got them there, which was the running game, and by them trying to match a big play for big play with TCU, that just every time I think they were scoring too quick and giving TCU the ball back too much.
So here's my question, Bobby. Do you think it was due to the lack of depth? Because I'm not sure. Like Michigan, you've got Blake Corum, you got Donovan Edwards, and then after that, you're pretty non-existent at running back. So do you think by Blake Corum being hurt and Donovan Edwards being your only
Of course. It's a lot of that too, because Blake Corum, Heisman candidate, he was a top running back pretty much. But I think the fact it was kind of like I don't want to say fool's gold, but I think it was, let's say, going to the well more than they need to, because against Ohio State they were slanging the ball too against them. So I think they had got confidence into, okay, we're gonna let McCarthy pass. We're gonna let McCarthy pass because he been doing his thing the last 2 games. But when it get down to playing into the championship, most teams that win the championship stick to what got them there. And I feel the fact that they didn't do that is what ended up with their demise. On top of them bad calls, big dog.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because normally they run that 2-back system, but your lead back is out. The only thing you got is Donovan Edwards. Like the rest of these guys behind him is like freshmen. They're smaller, or you got a converted linebacker that you handing off to, to trying to get some carries. So that's what I was wondering. Do you think that had a lot to do with the lack of experience behind Edwards now? Because
how in basketball, like in basketball, let me try to think of something. Okay, you know how when Russell Westbrook make a 3, you be like, damn, because he's gonna shoot 10 more now. So that's how I feel like with Michigan going with the deep plays, even though they was working, they need to stick to what got them there. Even though it was working, you want to stay sticking to what got you there because that ain't your game. That's TCU game. Big plays, 50 points, like they play. That's if you look at their conference don't got no defense, no defense in the conference. So I'm thinking that they played that shootout game, and everybody know that's Big 12. Big 12, they just back and forth, and you made it comfortable playing a style they used to playing every week.
Great point.
Are going to get to predictions a little later on, but what we want to do right now is we want to switch over to that other game that happened. That would be Georgia taking on Ohio State. So here's the predictions that were made last week. Reggie said that Georgia would end up beating Ohio State 45-24. Nate said that Georgia would beat Ohio State 52-21. Bobby said that Georgia would end up beating Ohio State 28-14. And I had said that Ohio State would end up beating Georgia 31-10. Now, I got to tell you, for the majority of this game, I felt great about that prediction because Georgia played like shit. Like, let's just be honest about it. Like, they did not play a good game at all. Ohio State, if Marvin Harrison Jr. does not go out, we're talking about Ohio State beating Georgia because they were beating the brakes off them boys. And I was loving every single minute of it. And then Georgia started coming back, and they ended up winning the game 42-41. Nate is also a Georgia fan, so I was happy for Nate. I was happy for Nate that at least one of his teams showed up to play. But Nate, how did you feel as a Georgia fan watching that game? Like, be honest with
me. It was tough because it took me back to Georgia versus Alabama, where the one year, actually in back-to-back years, they had Alabama on the ropes and Alabama won both times. Both times. The one year, Tua goes out. What's his face comes in, Georgia wins. Next year, hey, same thing. There you go with this Tua and this Mac Jones, guys. Mac Jones goes out, Tua comes in, takes it away from Georgia. So this time, it was tough, man. Ohio State is very talented. It was just I wanted to see just how dominant Georgia guys would be versus Ohio State. Kelly Ringo did not have a good game at all.
Yeah, he was getting cooked. I like
it. He did not have a good game at all. Adverse, Nolan Smith, but Jalen Carter continued to just be solid, boy. That boy is a monster. So, other than that, man, it was good. Back to you, Elijah.
Okay, so I realized that we did not go to Reggie on either one of these games. So I want to make sure we get Reggie in here too. Reggie, your thoughts on the college football playoff games that have happened, and then after you're done, we're going to get into predictions, my friend.
Tell you the truth, Bobby nailed exactly how I felt about the Michigan game. They got away from what they should have been doing. They gave him too many opportunities. And that defense, man, I was telling Nate the other day, I was like, I was not expecting the defense to give up
Not
that
them.
many points. Not the way that it happened, because it was just like blown play after blown play after blown
I
play.
think
Just
maybe
like,
they had too much time off.
oh, what is happening right now? So that's what threw me off about that game.
Yeah.
And with the Georgia Ohio State game, better team won. What I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about Ohio State. Elijah, when you first brought up CJ Stroud earlier this season, I was really skeptical of him because, to be honest with you, man, if you take Ohio State and Michigan out of the Big Ten, that's not really no pro level competition. To be honest with me, honest with you guys, to me, as far as for a guy to be the first pick or second, the first overall quarterback or second overall first round pick quarterback, I just feel like CJ Stroud did nothing even in that loss. He improved his draft status because, to be honest with you, going against the Georgia Bulldogs, as I said before, they might be in the NFC South and we don't even know it. That's a real That's a real defense. everybody, everybody in the everybody on that defense at least gonna get a tryout in the pros. So I feel like he did good to raise his draft stock. I like how he read the defense. I like how he hit the hot man because, believe it or not, Marvin Harrison Jr. was kicking their butt. So I love that, Eddie. I almost want to walk back a lot of stuff I said about him, but I feel like if you put a good game plan together, and that's gonna be the NFL, you're gonna get the best coaches. You get a good game plan together, CJ Stroud could be a franchise quarterback. But the main thing, you got to pair him with an offensive guru, though. You can't expect him to have a defensive coach in the pros and then him to flourish. You need a guy that.
Don't he
So that's
play
how I feel.
golf?
Yeah, I think so too, man. He's not.
Like Jared Goff with just a better arm.
Yeah, and more spin on his passes too, because he throw a tighter spiral too.
So I'm going to save what I have to say about CJ Stroud for a little later on because I want to make sure we get to these predictions for this National Football Championship, or I should say College Football Championship. I don't know why I made a completely different trophy just now, but anyway, let's get into that here. TCU, Georgia. Now, this game is going to be played at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. It is coming up on Monday night. That is when that game will be played. I was looking to see what the location was because for me, one of my biggest beefs, if you will, is the fact that Georgia played a semifinal game less than an hour away from where they play all their home games.
They're the number one seed, Elijah. They should get that.
To me, that shouldn't matter that they're the number one seed. I think that is something that, obviously Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, that was predetermined that was going to be the semifinal game long before we saw what happened with Georgia. But my point is that Ohio State basically had to use a silent count because it was pretty much a Georgia home game.
If that was Georgia Tech, you were saying that.
Hell no.
So with that being said, they're going to be in California. I'm curious to see what the turnout's going to be between Georgia fans and TCU fans and newly christened TCU fans, because there's going to be a lot of people coming out of the woodworks to root for TCU, myself included. So I'm curious about that part, but I'm going to go to Bobby first because Bobby knew before all of us that TCU was going to beat Michigan. So Bobby, you're on the spot. Are you believing in the Horned Frogs to win this national championship?
Actually not, brother. I'm going to go ahead and say that good old 28-14 Georgia. Duggan is not the type of guy that might get hurt messing with Georgia, man. I'm not saying he don't run fast. He don't have a strong arm. He's not that big. So I just think Georgia defense won't be able to go tit for tat with them. They're not gonna play that game with them. And I also think the fact that Georgia got that quarterback that's 25 years old, I think that he's a good game manager. He's not trying to be the superstar. He letting the talent around him win. And then the fact that Georgia, obviously, like I told you, if I'm not mistaken, they won the NFC South this year. So I think it's really gonna show the lack of it's really gonna showcase the talent that is on that Georgia defense. That's what I feel. That's why I'm going with Georgia.
Nate, I know you're a Bulldog fan, so this is probably going to be an exercise in futility, as Reggie would say. But who are you picking?
I think this game is like when Georgia played Georgia Tech.
Oh, hush your mouth.
Oh, Lord.
Hush your mouth. Ain't no need to get personal.
Hey, he coming for you, Elijah.
Ain't
You
no
done
need to
fucked
get
up
personal
somewhere.
like that.
Hey, Nate, stop cussing.
Oh, my bad. hey, look. Who wins in the fight? A yellow jacket or a horny toad? Look at but anyway, I'm gonna take them Bulldogs. 35. No, I'm gonna say 42-21.
They're gonna double them up, huh, Nate?
They're gonna double them up.
Okay, Reggie, who do you got?
I'm going Georgia too. I'm going to say 45-28.
Okay, so as everybody knows, I despise the Georgia Bulldogs. I will never pick them to win anything other than a stupidity competition. So I am going to pick TCU. Now, listen, every bone in my body is saying I'm making the wrong decision here, but I also didn't think TCU was going to beat Michigan. And something special is brewing there. And sometimes a team of destiny is just a team of destiny. It doesn't matter who they're playing. So I'm going to pick TCU.
You can't change your destiny.
Hey, like I said, I was impressed. They impressed me by beating Michigan the way they did. They really did. Like, I'm not just saying that because I don't like Georgia. I mean, I really thought Michigan would outpower them, and they took that shit personal whenever J.J. McCarthy was out there running. So
I'm targeting.
I don't see Georgia's defense doing the same thing Michigan.
Right, they're not.
The blueprint
TCU help.
The blueprint to beat Georgia, Ohio State just showed you what it is. The only thing you got to add to that blueprint is a kicker. That's all you got to add.
Yeah, but Duggan ain't Shroud.
And 6. Yeah,
He doesn't have to be because
6 5-star players.
He's not Stroud, but he doesn't have to be the way that Georgia was covering them Ohio State receivers.
Yeah, but 4 of them is 5-star players.
So I am going to pick TCU to win this game, and I'm going to say that it's going to be 24-21 TCU. That's what I got.
That'd be a good ass game. Be a good game.
It's a game.
So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening between those two teams, whether Nate's got something to cheer about or if Nate comes on this show next week and he's like, damn. So we'll see what happens. But I am rooting for the whole Frogs. And we'll see what happens. So let's get to some of these players who are coming out early before we switch back to Lions talk here. Some of the players that are coming out early, most of which we knew about, we kind of figured they would come out early and get themselves ready to be drafted. And we haven't really had to talk about prospect watch too much because we've been watching our Lions who have been in the hunt this entire time. But a couple of the guys that we talked about a lot on this show, Jahmyr Gibbs, he has declared for the NFL draft. So get ready to hear a lot about Jahmyr Gibbs and what he can bring to any potential team. But remember that because of the other running backs who are also coming out, he might not be the number one running back in the draft. Because you got Bijan Robinson. I know I'm saying his name wrong, but you've got Bijan. There we go. Bijan Robinson out of Texas, who far and away is everybody's favorite running back. That seems to be the
is the UCLA kid coming out that used to play for Michigan?
Yeah, Zach. But they got him in a 3rd round grade though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's where I like my running back. To be honest.
I would say keep your eye on Jahmyr Gibbs. That'll be interesting to see what happens because I don't believe he ever put together a 1,000-yard season in college. But he was used as a utility knife on every team that he was a part of, whether it was Alabama or Georgia Tech. He had over 1,000 yards of offense, but not 1,000 yards rushing. And I think that unfortunately is going to be something that gets talked about saying, well, can he be that guy? I think he can. I also don't think he needs to be in today's NFL. So we'll see what happens with that. But Jahmyr Gibbs, he is going to be in the draft. So maybe the Lions get him, and I would certainly enjoy that. I think a lot of the guys on the show would enjoy that quite a bit. CJ Stroud, let's talk about that real quick. I'm going to be brief on this. I did not believe in CJ Stroud until this Georgia game. Because that Georgia defense, whether I don't like them or whatever, which is you all know I don't like them, I do respect the defense. I do
Wow.
respect the defense. So CJ Stroud, to me, he played the best game of the season against that Georgia defense that any quarterback has had against that Georgia defense, in my opinion. Because yes, the LSU quarterback threw for a bunch of yards, but they were never really in that game with Georgia. Ohio State was beating up on Georgia, and I think CJ Stroud was a big reason why. The way he directed that offense, the way that he actually pointed guys open. There was one play where Marvin Harrison was running to the other side of the field, and he actually said, hey, with his finger, he was pointing to him to tell him where to go, and then got him the ball in a situation that most quarterbacks can't do. So
that means he reading the defense. He reading the field. You know what he's doing, and that also comes from tape too. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he a rat in the film room too.
So I'm impressed with CJ Stroud. I will say though that is one game. Obviously, they won a bunch of games this year, but we all know not every defense he played is worth their salt. So, but I guarantee you, when it comes to scouts on like NFL Network or whatever, they're going to be pulling up this Georgia film and saying, look at what this kid did against Georgia. And that might be enough right there for the Texans to take a flyer on him as the #1 overall pick. But keep your eye on that one. CJ Stroud, again, coming out early. So is Bryce Young out of Alabama. He is coming out as well. I think he's a good quarterback. To be honest with you, I haven't watched a lot of Alabama football. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know if he's the franchise guy that a lot of people think he is.
I don't know why. I don't know why you don't know that. But I don't know why. He a beast, man.
But Bryce Young coming out early. Will Anderson coming out early out of Alabama. And Dwayne McBride, Bobby Bless's prospect. He is coming out early as well. Now, this is obviously not the entire list of players, but we wanted to go over some folks who we had actually talked about so that you knew what was going on. Some of the guys who are apparently not coming out that we were hoping would. Eric All out of Michigan. He's going to go play at Iowa with Cade McNamara. And we don't know yet about the main running back for Michigan. Nate, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Blake Corum had surgery right before the bowl game. So it's been rumblings that his decision has not been made. Of course, you got the fans that saying one more year. I think he stays to prove that injury is, it isn't going to hurt him. So instead of him going on to that next level, I think he comes back. And I honestly think that he believes that Michigan's got unfinished business. You had a great season at 13-1. And I truly believe with a healthy Blake Corum that Michigan had everything they needed to get to that national championship. And I'm pretty sure
definitely.
So I definitely believe that Blake Corum will come back. He will be ready for spring ball. And with the additions added to this team, they'll be good to go. So I'm excited. We're going to see.
So that is a situation there that we're looking at with Blake Corum. Again, expecting him to come back to Michigan instead of going to the draft. But again, we'll keep you updated once draft gets here. We'll talk about that. But right now, hey, we still got a season that we are currently playing, and we have a lot to play for, which is nice to see. We want to switch over here to Merch Alert. Let me go ahead and pin Bobby Bless here. So, Bobby, I'm going to put up the screen what you sent me. But before I do that, tell folks a little bit about what we're putting on the screen.
Yeah, we're putting on skinit.com as we talked about before. Skinit.com is a website where you customize devices like your cell phone, your laptop, your PS4, your PS5, your video game systems, all kind of stuff. Skinny.com, it helps you customize your devices to make it more make it more you, make it more Bobby Bless, as I say. And, Skinny.com is always my go-to when I get a video game system, just to make sure everybody know it's mine. So, that's basically what it is, Elijah. Whenever you're ready to pop it up, I'll just show you exactly what I got. Recently, I purchased the PS5. And, of course, I was excited to get my damn PS5 because it seemed like it took me a whole year and a half to get it. But luckily, I'm blessed at Walmart where I can actually be the guy that put them up where I know when I can get one. So, of course, if as anything I get, if it's a vehicle or a car, or a vehicle, or even like my pictures on the wall, posters on the wall, is Detroit Lions. I customize it, and right now we're looking at the Detroit Lions PS5 Blitz pattern bundle. And basically, what the Blitz pattern is, it's more reflecting on how the logo and the names are lined up as a Blitz pattern. I didn't come up with the name, but I did click on it to buy it. What it is, what a skin is, it is I would say like a print from that is 3M tape, and as you guys know, 3M tape is pretty good tape that sticks down for you in almost any situation. But it's a 3M tape, and not only it looks stylish, but it helps protect your video game system from dirt and easy. Like, say you do get dust on there, you can wipe this off. Normally, you wouldn't want to put anything wet on your video game system, so it helps. It gives it added protection, and it also is stylish too, man. Because everybody, when they get something, they want to customize it and stuff. So you can just make it how you want to. I purchased cell phones from cell phone covers from Skinit that got pictures of me and my wife, that kind of stuff. So it's not just necessarily football stuff, but Skinit.com is definitely my go-to when I get these systems custom made. I'm even got one for the Xbox, but I'm not gonna show that one because it got a lot of stuff on there that we don't really care for this week or ever. So, but it do look sweet with the stuff on there. I got my wife. I got my wife on there asking to show hers, but I'm definitely not. So, I'm gonna just show. I'm gonna show mine. I don't work tomorrow. I can sleep on the couch. It's cool. Yeah, but make a long story short, Elijah, if you want, whenever you ready to throw it to me, I can show you how I show you what my project was when I got it.
You're on, my friend.
Okay, brother. All right, so this is how it looks in real life. I'm gonna try my best to try to show it as best as I can. And like I said, it's a timely venture. So if you're not a patient person, or if you don't got the time, make sure you don't do it, because it's nothing you can really rush through. As you can see, it got the blitz pattern on here. It's fine. This not even, they don't cover this, but it got the NFL regulated stamp on here and whatnot. And, that it comes in a bundle, as I said before, and the bundle comes with one sticker that I actually put the same 3M tape, the same 3M pattern on the controller. I got the controller right here also, and I'm trying to make it where you can see how the PS5 controller got the same pattern as the console, and all together the bundle. Yeah, but hey, Nate, but this is why you be tagging me in comments when you arguing with people about who the biggest Lions fan. So you always be like,
I let them know though.
Hey, Nate be starting shit. Hey, Nate be starting shit for real, Elijah. He be one dude to be on there. I'm probably the biggest Lion fan in this group. He gonna be like, no, Bobby Blessed to be. He tagged me and shit. I'd be like, yeah, I am. But make a long story short, just little stuff like this, makes it you make just show your fandom, man. I
Right.
always when I told you guys before, a lot of times I just like if I'm walking outside and I see it raining, like damn, I need a Lions umbrella. So and then I go through skinny.com and I seen this. They got other patterns than this. So if you're not a fan of this pattern, because to each his own, to be honest with you, they got other patterns. I think I seen Detroit Lions established in 1934 type patterns. They even if they even got pink ones for the women, pink Detroit Lion ones. So it's not just a guy thing. So to be honest with you, man, Skinit.com has always been my go-to. Honestly, like when I buy a video game, before I even purchase this thing, I see how much the Detroit Lions skin costs before I even purchase it, because I want to make sure as soon as I can, I want to make it mine. And everybody that knows the number one Lions fans knows, hey, even down to the socks, it's gonna be Detroit Lions. So, uh, I recommend Skinny.com. Even if you don't want to go the football route, if you want to go more your name, they got a lot of different designs. I put in my order. I think I put my order in on a Monday. I got it by the next Monday. Of course, I was fucking with Nate friends, but they got it. They got it to me on the timely fashion. So, but make a long story short, man. I love my video game system. I love my Lions, man, and
Dirty.
just one of the million. You always come from Walmart too, but one of the million. You done put coaches. Hey,
Hey,
he done put
listen,
coaches at Walmart. He done put coaches at Walmart. He done put players at Walmart. But anyway, make a long story short, it's just this is another way I show my fandom is by putting Detroit Lions on my videos, even on my video game. So that's pretty much merch alert. And guys, I think it's time to get the gifts going with the contests again, other than the Apple Watch, of course. But I think it's about time that we get another gift. So next week, guys, be expecting Bobby to have a good prize for us, man. I'm really can't wait to see. I haven't really put my focus on there, but I haven't looked yet. But it's gonna be something sweet. Like I said, I always try to find stuff that I want but don't got. So I think that's the best move. So that it for Merch Alert, guys. The crazy Lions fan with the Detroit Lions PS5 controller and setup. So
So real
that's
quick,
it for me, Elijah.
So real quick, I love that design, but the reason why I love that design is kind of a silly reason. So if you
Talk
had
to me.
a Dan Campbell bobblehead, you could set up that Dan Campbell bobblehead in front of that design with a little bitty podium, and it would look like the thing that he talks in front of for every single press conference.
Hey, do they got a Dan Campbell bobblehead?
They
Let me look
probably
that
do,
up.
but it would literally look like the press conference room.
I need a Dan Campbell bobblehead, man.
I'm just saying, like, that's pretty cool. That's
My
pretty
wife
cool.
said no Dan Campbell bobbleheads in this house.
You know.
We got to break some rules. Hey, got to live on the wild
Hey.
side sometimes, brother.
hey, listen. Bobby Boucher stopped listening to his mama, so don't be listening to that girl.
Oh boy.
I got to live here. I got to live here,
I
Nate.
gotta live here, he
I'm
says.
just trying to live here, Nate.
Nate
That's all I want
Rucker,
to do is live here.
before you get Bobby blessed and anything that he can't get out of, let's switch over to Inside the Den, my friend. What do you got for
Oh, they do got one too. They do got the Dan Campbell bobbleheads.
Well, y'all, on this segment, man, of Inside the Den, we're going to talk about, actually not even talk about, we're going to give some guys some particular shout outs, some guys who really need it, guys who maybe were, under the radar, guys who were expected not to do as well, guys who have proven that they are who they thought they were. Plain and simple. So right now we ain't heard from our guy. So this is an unexpected guy. So this guy was brought to my attention by our resident big fella. So on this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let Reggie do his thing when we get to talking about Mr. Kaminsky. Reggie, tell these people about Kaminsky. I'm gonna let you handle it.
You know, the funny thing about Kaminsky is we didn't really see his value until he got hurt earlier this year.
Back.
And what happened after he got hurt was Aiden Hutchinson's double teams went through the roof. Now, mind you, even right now, Aiden Hutchinson is still top 5 in double teams in the league at his position.
Right.
It's insane. Yeah, you look at the guys that's in front of him, we're talking about superstar DNs at his position. But I kept telling people when Kaminsky got hurt, I said, he brings value. It just doesn't look pretty.
Exactly.
He got back, and what happened? We started seeing Aiden getting less double teams, being able to be more effective, and that led to him having the type of year that he's having right now. And so that's why you want to give Kaminsky his stripes or his flowers while he's here.
Exactly.
They might end up drafting another D tackle or something like that. We still have Aleem McNeil. We still have Bugs. But one thing you always think about when you talk about controlling the trenches is having depth at every position on the D line.
Exactly.
And Kaminsky brings to the table. And so that's why I love John Kaminsky. I love everything that he brings to the table. He's a maximum effort type guy. He's a Campbell type guy. And you're seeing the benefits of having a dude like that on the team when you see the success that Aiden Hutchinson is having because of him being there. So that's my viewpoint on Kaminsky.
Man, I love John Kaminsky. And the thing is, his numbers aren't gaudy, but his play speaks volumes.
Absolutely.
Like you've seen it multiple times where literally it's him and Hutchinson there at the same time, or him and Justin Houston at the same time. Like his versatility from the 3 technique to the 5 technique is crazy. And so for the people who don't know what the numbers I'm shouting out, the 5 technique is where you line up as a defensive end and you're on the outside shoulder of the left tackle. That 3 technique, you're lining up to the outside shoulder in between the center and the guard, and you're penetrating that gap. Now, you have a 0 technique. That 0 lines up over that center. And them two are just bullhorns. That's where they go. So John, being a pass rusher with speed, with agility, quickness, and multiple pass rush moves for a guy that size, whether it's a rip, whether it's a swim, whether it's hand fighting, always seems to get pressure on that quarterback. And so that's why it is so good, man. And like I say, his numbers, you're not going to see him with 7, 8, 9 sacks. But his hurries and his pressures are there every game. Meaning, a quarterback doesn't have the ability to step up into the pocket to get maximum torque on their throw because he's sitting in their face. And if we seen it last week, just when Justin Fields even thought about stepping up, he got to get out of there quick. You can't sit there. That is perfect, especially when you're dealing with guys who want to pass from the pocket. Even though Justin Fields has made it well known now that he can run, I don't want people to get it misconstrued. The Bears are just doing him all wrong. Justin Fields is not a run-first quarterback. He is a passing quarterback. The Bears are just doing him all wrong. But guess what? So what? You in the North. So right now, what we're finna do is Elijah's finna put an image up for us, and I want y'all to watch the screen. So what we're talking about here, here's your number chart. And so what I broke down when I'm talking about the 0 technique to the 1 technique to the 3 to the 5 to the 6, each one of these numbers are gap numbers. So when you're talking about lining up directly over the center, that's your 0. So in between your center and your guards, that's where you have your 2, you have your 3, And it all depends on, now this is the crazy part. You're talking about the difference between zone blocking schemes and man blocking schemes. So these numbers, man, it can get real tricky. You can either go from right to left when you're identifying gaps, or you can go left to right. I never
No, we
truly.
do both. We do both, don't we, Nate? We man
Yes,
block and zone block, right?
yes, we do. So basically, when we're looking at John Kaminsky, as I said, he plays the 5. He also plays the 3. So on this chart, when you're looking at the right tackle, you see the 5. He's going to be on the outside shoulder of that tackle, whether it's the right tackle or the left tackle. He's going to be lined up to that outside shoulder. So when you see that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see Aiden on the inside, because you want John coming wide, and then Aiden's going to use his speed coming up to the middle. So they actually rotate. So when John is in the 5, Aiden's going to drop down to the 3. And if you see the 3, that 3 is going to be in between the left guard and the left tackle, right guard, right tackle. So, like I say, we can really, really get back into breaking down the numbers and what each number actually true definition, or what their job requirement is, or what you expect out of that. So it gets a little bit finicky. I think that'll be something that we'll really, really get into in the off season, so we can really, truly help guys to understand what they're seeing or what they're hearing us talk about. Because I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me say the XYZ when we're talking about receivers. So those would be your 2 outside versus your slot guy. So, it's old. It gets, it's an old habit. You get to throwing numbers out. They're like, wait, what is he talking about? What's an X? What's a Z? So we would definitely get into that. But that is John Kaminsky. Now, another guy I want to give the biggest kudos to, before I even get to any other players, is our guy. It's our coach. It's the guy that has righted the ship after that big baloney has left and the smartest guy in the room got fired. Both of them. They both sailed in the same shit together, and they both drowned in the sea together. And it is Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell has found a way, to deal with the onslaught of negative comments. He's a Madden coach. He's coaching like he's playing a video game. He doesn't know how to game management. He doesn't know how to do this. He doesn't do that. Guess what, y'all? Dan Campbell has took a team that was 1-6, and right now, as of right now, we are in the playoffs at the 7th spot. And nobody truly, truly gives him enough credit, but one guy who's always backed him more than me is our guy, Eli. Eli, get that boy Campbell some love.
Hey, I've always been a Dan Campbell fan. And one thing that I'd like to point out, and this is a big thing when it comes to comparing, or I should say, figuring out where you are in the landscape. A lot of people like to compare coaches to the coaches that were hired at the same time as them, because a lot of people say, well, you could have had this guy, but you went this way, or the opposite, of saying, well, you went for the guy that everybody said was the smartest guy in the room, but he turned out not to be. Okay. We've been on that side of the coin. Here's the deal. One of the coaches who was hired at the same time as Dan Campbell has now got the same record as Dan Campbell.
Robert
Saleh is 11-21 as a New York Jets head coach. And Dan Campbell is 11-21-1 as the head coach for your Detroit Lions. So here's the deal on that. I don't think you could possibly have 2 further differences of opinion when it comes to how the seasons have gone. because Salah's 11-21 does not feel like our 11-21.
No.
I mean, we were 1-6 at one point this year, and they were 6-3, and then the wheels fell off.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I think people should really consider heading into this offseason, because I keep hearing people talk about the pull of New York and how, oh, look at all the media markets and all the things for your brand and all that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that that's as big of a pull as maybe it used to be, because nobody wants to go play for a team that is on a downward spiral right now, which is kind of what the Jets are. They're still being talked about like they're the darling of the league in some circles, but if you look at the actual situation there, it's not great. It's not great. They don't know who their quarterback's going to be. And they keep doing this weird thing where they keep switching guys in and out at the quarterback spot. You've got Saleh, who's sitting there saying, as long as I'm in this chair, I'm going to keep giving Zach Wilson chances. Okay, that's
He
fine.
don't mean that shit.
Exactly. He don't mean that shit, because how many times have we seen him give Zach Wilson a chance and then take him out the minute things start looking rough? If I'm Zach Wilson, I'm saying, I don't want to be here anymore. But my point is, to get back to the Lions, get back to Dan Campbell, you got to feel good about where we are right now, because we don't have that issue at quarterback. Yes,
there you go. Talk about
season long. We've talked all season long about, maybe Jared Goff isn't that guy. And at 1-6, I think those conversations were completely merited. But he has righted the ship. He has been playing his best football of his career. And now that conversation has shifted, at least in my eyes anyway, from we need that guy for the future to we need a good backup quarterback. The Jets just need a quarterback, period. So for me, I'm excited about where we are. I'm excited about Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell, is probably going to be loyal to us. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. The biggest thing in my eyes is, what does he do about his coordinators? Because that they're going to be interviewed for head coaching jobs. And I don't want to get into the whole politics side of that, but let's just call a cat and a dog, okay? We know that Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn are going to be brought in on some BS interviews. We already know that, okay? I don't think either one of them, unfortunately, are going to get their shot. They should, but I don't think they're going to. Ben Johnson, though, I could see him end up maybe taking off, and I think that would be something that we should be concerned about, because then we find out, can Dan Campbell, who's already done a great job of hiring, can he do a good job of replacing? That to me is going to be a interesting question. So, but for me, Dan Campbell, he's 11-21-1, but I feel great about it, because I think we are much better than that record. And I think he came into a situation that I don't think anybody wanted, really. So Nate, I'll throw it back to you, because I don't want to take over your segment, but I'm loving
you. Hey, listen, I love it. But that's what I'm saying. But this is what, this is the purpose of our den this week is, to spotlight guys that our fan base weren't so high on, or they doubted, because things weren't going our way. And like we said, we told them, hey, you guys get to watching Hard Knocks now. Don't get these high expectations yet. While you think about it, we're still a very young team, which is one of the things which is what we're still getting into. Because when you think about just the defensive line, like, people want to give Aaron Glenn a hard time, but our two best pass rushers are what? Rookies. Our best linebacker is a rookie. As of right now, our starting safety is a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
The guy starting next to him is essentially a rookie in Melifonwu, because his first year was full of injuries.
Right.
Talking about Jeff Okuda, who essentially is really in a second year.
Right.
So, Jerry Jacobs in his second year. So everything that we're looking at right now, and the way that this team is playing and has grown, has been from first and second year guys.
Yeah.
And fans, they watch the Hard Knocks and they put the expectation of a veteran team on a young team who,
Right.
number one, had to find themselves, which is why them getting kicked in the teeth last week by Carolina was so important.
And, and just to build off what you're saying there, Nate, you still have, and this is something that I don't think our fans think about, but I know you think about it. And I know the guys on this episode think about it. You still got players who are going into NFL stadiums for the first times in their life.
Yeah.
They haven't even, like, as a second year player, they haven't even played in all 32 stadiums yet.
Right. That's but so this is why I be telling people, like, and they be talking about, oh, well, fire Aaron Glenn. Like, wait a minute. Everything is not the scheme. Right. It's the knowledge and experience of players. And this is where, where I have to pick my battles when I have certain conversations with people. It's the same way, same way with you, Raja, running the studio, you know who does what. So right. that's called knowing your personnel. You know who does what, who's able to do what, who doesn't. Knowing personnel. It's the same thing with this. So now give a couple other guys very, very, very big shout outs. Amon-Ra, the Sun God, St. Brown. 100 receptions, first 1,000-yard season. Jamal Williams, 994 yards, 15 touchdowns. This game against the Bears, he most without question will have his first. This game against the Packers, my bad, will be his first 1,000-yard season, and it will be against his former team, who he described as being dumped by your old girlfriend and getting a new one. So you're talking about his first 1,000-yard season and being able to break the great one's record for the most rushing, for the most touchdown in the season. He can take down Barry and get his first 1,000-yard season. That's huge. Then you talk about Hutch, who has proven that he was without a doubt the best DN taken in this draft. I told Bobby, hey, the reason that separates Hutch from everything else is his ability to read and react and totally progress and read situations. He's very calculated. And now you're seeing a DN of his size with these hands who now has got 3 picks.
More than Akuda.
Yeah, more than Akuda. And it was funny because I had people questioning why you're dropping Aiden Hutchinson in the coverage. And me being me, I'm trying to explain to him, listen, when you have a guy who has this type of motor, you can drop him back as a spy and you give him a flat zone to cover. And this has worked perfectly. This boy, he's not catching tip passes, y'all. This is all.
Catching them.
He's catching them. He's reading guys that are pretending to block him and releasing. And him being so smart, instead of him getting fooled and just rushing the quarterback, he's like, oh, wait a minute. I've been double teamed all year. This shit was too easy. Drop back. Guess what? 1 pick. He picked off Aaron Rodgers in the end zone. You took another one from Justin Fields. He's got 3 of them. On top of the fact that he's almost got 10 sacks, he's leading the league, the rookies, and pressures and double teams and sacks. So you can't say enough about the kid. And then James Houston. If anybody, I think a lot of people may be surprised by him. I wasn't, because I did the homework on him. The Lions did their homework. He was, like I said, a 5-star recruit. He was at the time the number 3 defensive end coming out of high school. He chose to go to Miami, transferred from Miami, And when he transferred to Jackson State, he got 17 and a half sacks. 1 year, y'all. I ain't talking 2. I'm talking 1 year. It's 17 and a half. It reminded me of a guy who was just that good, man. Terrell Suggs had a great year at Arizona State where he had 22. The conference, you can say whatever, but the numbers, like Reggie say, numbers don't lie. You can't fool the numbers. So James Houston doing his thing. And then finally, man, we're going to talk about that boy Goff. Jared Goff has done his thing. He has done his thing. And also, before we get back to Goff, Elijah going to throw something on the screen for y'all to see, man. Look at this. A lot of people say, hey, I just be talking. But if y'all look at this date, that guy in that picture right there was Josh Pascal. So this ain't 2023. That says August 5th.
They crazy.
If he is not ready, speaking of Josh Pascal, if Josh Pascal is not ready, sneak Houston off the practice squad. And then guess what, y'all? Everything else is academic. That boy has taken the league by storm, and I guarantee you the Packers will have him on their game. He's on their scouting report. That NASCAR package is on that scouting report.
Hey, Nate, just to kind of back up what you're saying, Aiden Hutchinson has played 71% of available snaps in the games this year. Houston's played 29%. 29%. It has just as many sacks as he does.
That's crazy. It's all about
that is insane. If you talking about a 1-2 punch out of your rookies, if that don't give you everything that you want to see for the future on this D line, I don't know what else I don't know what you're looking at.
Tell them get over it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, man, our next guy, my man Bobby gave him some shit last week. Bobby didn't take no shit about Goff in these punk ass gloves.
He's still on probation on the road.
But
he on house arrest.
Okay, well, Bobby got arrest. Hopefully he don't put no punk ass gloves. But I want to give Jared Goff his flowers, and I'm gonna let Bobby go ahead and do it. Bobby, try your microphone to the side of your dog. There we go. And then get Jared Goff.
Hey, look. Like Jared Goff that's just the textbook game manager, to be honest with you. It's just the fact that he only threw 3 interceptions at home lets you know that he like actually reading the defense and then giving his guys a chance, to make plays. Jared Goff, he not gonna wow you with his arm, but he's not gonna make the mistake that you. Oh, he's not gonna make the mistake. He's not gonna make the mistake that most people make, like trying to force passes and whatnot. Him and Ben Johnson got a real good connection. A lot of people, as we talked about before, it seemed like the connection between the quarterback and the offensive coordinator always been a big thing here, even though when we had old Jim Bob, former running back coach, calling the thing. Like I said before, we done came a long way with Jim Bob. This offense is good. And even like Jared Goff, you can tell his heart in it. Not saying that the last guy's heart wasn't in it. It's just that Jared Goff is, to be honest with you, he's more of a leader. He speaks up. He'll say, "We gonna do this," or you know what I'm saying. He ain't always every time you ask a question, this and that and this. He really know what he want to do. He stepped up. Like Elijah said earlier, I think he kind of quieted the wanting to get a quarterback with that first round pick or our first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I think he quieted that, but like I said, he on house arrest because he do good at home. So I want to see him. Yeah, he on house arrest because he do good at home. So I want to see what he do next week at Lambeau. Now he got to come to Lambeau. Yeah, whatever. But hopefully he don't bring them damn gloves. And we can see what we can see what we can do about getting him, full time. Getting him out here full time rehabilitated because, like I said, he on house arrest. He a dog at home. If every Lions game was a home game, he'd probably be MVP of the league the way it looked. So for us to get to the next level, which would be the wild card game, I feel like you got to do something. We got to go into Lambeau and handle our business. Even though playoffs or don't make playoffs, this is our chance to have a winning season. As you know, these various news media outlets never gave us a chance, saying we weren't going to win 4-5 games. We about to have a winning season.
I got
you told me,
FanDuel.
Okay. So if you would have told me that, if you'd have told me back in when we started this great podcast, when my guy Nate was telling you about this guy Elijah and whatnot, if you'd have told me back then that we would be one game for the last game of the season, we'll be trying to play to get to the playoffs or trying to win a game to have a win the season, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't believe you. If you told me Jared Goff would be the best quarterback in the league at home, I wouldn't believe you. Like we was talking about earlier, if you'd have told me we'd have been having 2,000-yard rushers, I wouldn't believe you. So these draft picks, I'm just happy with Goff for real though. I'm interested to see what we can do to keep these guys that are playing well. Like Elijah said before, even with Dan Campbell, I'll up that a little bit and say Brad Holmes because Nate, as you know, as many years we've been on this damn social media arguing about the Lions, we get the good players and we don't keep them. So I'm interested to see how Brad Holmes gonna keep these guys, even down to Jared Goff, man, because he's playing well enough where he's a valuable commodity. So I want to even keep him. Not saying that make him the highest paid quarterback ever or whatnot, but just make sure we keep this guy because he's invested, running down the field with Jamal Williams after he broke his incentive record for most yards in the season or whatnot. So I'm just invested because it's all about morale. Jared Goff is obviously a leader of this team. If not the lead, the leader of the offense, if not the leader of the whole team. So as Goff plays well, we play well. So if we can just continue that, I'll be happy with that. I don't know who. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for letting me get in on that inside the den too, big dog. Man. Goff, my guy.
Each one of you guys have brung attention to one particular player or one coach, whatever, especially when the times was tough or the unexpected, and you guys continually to right the ship, especially when the media want to get on them, you guys ain't as they say, turn tail and run. So, you keep it real. Unfortunately, I hate when Elijah keeps it real because he did us dirty with Gino. He did us dirty with Goff.
Hey, and that's still, we still ain't gone over that right prediction. We still, that's going to be the reason to make or break our playoff spot. That damn Geno Smith prediction. It's your fault, Elijah.
Yeah, I know.
But thank y'all for the inside the den, man. Now, let's go ahead, man. We're finna turn this back over to Elijah and get us into our next segment.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a 2-minute drill here because we do have 2 games that we're doing this week for our preview because there's 2 games that matter, folks. All the other ones, don't even worry about them, okay? The 2 games that matter, all right? Number 1, Rams at the Seahawks, Sunday, 4:25. That is when that game will be played. That's Eastern Standard Time, by the way. But again, Rams and the Seahawks, 4:25 kickoff. And what we need as Lions fans is we need the Rams to beat the Seahawks in Seattle. We'll go about 30 seconds to a minute here. We'll go around the room, starting with Reggie. Reggie, what is your key to this game, and what do you think is going to happen?
I never thought I'd say go Baker Mayfield.
Man,
I never ever thought that I would say that, but go Baker.
Gotta go full Mayfield.
I need Baker to go in, son.
I said you ain't seen the news.
He has been clowned.
I said you ain't seen the news, have you?
What happened?
What news?
Stafford's cleared to play Sunday.
Oh, go Stafford.
That wasn't fake. That was fake.
That don't change nothing up. Go Stafford.
That wasn't real.
Hey, Doc, but listen, when you talk about faith, did y'all see the little tweet he put out? Or the little, did you see it, Elijah?
No, I didn't.
It said that when they asked Matthew Stafford about the game and beating the Seahawks and the Lions possibly going to the playoffs, he said, I will get the Lions into the playoffs.
That was fake news, Nate. That shit not real.
That's why we love Matthew Stafford on this show.
Fuck him.
It wasn't real. Hey, it wasn't real. Hey, but it sounded good.
It sounded good.
I highly doubt that man said that, but either way it go.
But Stafford,
if he was gonna suit up for Seattle, I had more faith in him getting the Lions to the fucking playoffs.
So
yeah, they're gonna suit up for Seattle, motherfucker.
It's so disingenuous to have the support we got for freaking golf, and then sit up here and talk about a champion saying the same thing.
So Nate, what do you got for your thoughts on this Rams Seahawks game, Nate?
Go Stafford.
Like I don't know what to say.
There's nothing more I can say except I can't tell you how long it's been since years it has been since I've said go Stafford. But I'm saying go John Matthew Stafford. Kelly, don't you touch his hind parts before this game.
Oh my God.
That motherfucker, he does not play.
Bobby, your thoughts on this Rams Seahawks game?
Man, I don't know, man. I kind of don't even want to watch the damn game, man. Cause it's your fault, to be honest, man. Because every time Geno Smith is so good, it just revert back to. Well, I don't even remember what week we played them, but it just I'm going for the Rams. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for all that support, but it's just the fact. It just show you how the tale of two cities, how that being 1-6, but if you break down that 1-6, them games we lose by 3, we lose by 4. You know what I mean? We ain't getting our ass kicked. So a 4-point loss against Seattle when we had a fourth quarter lead is going to be the reason we make or break it. It's hurting me.
But that's the crazy.
Hurt me, man.
Oh, I hear that Packer girl.
Okay, so let me bring it in here.
She been talking shit all week.
I was right once
before. Hey, hold on. Hey, Bobby. Did Jared Goff get his vaccination?
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. So
I know you better not wear them motherfucking gloves. I know that.
So let me talk about this Rams Seahawks game here. So it's at 4:25. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this game than some of the other guys did. Okay, so
before you dive in, Elijah, I will say this:
go ahead.
The key to stopping this game is gonna be stopping Walker.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be. It ain't.
He hurt too. He hurt too. I was watching. He hurt.
I'd rather they sit up there and try to throw as much as possible with Geno than let.
No, Geno a good passer now, man. It ain't the same as Geno.
We get hurt more when the running back is killing us than we do when the QB is killing us.
So
Geno was running on us too.
So let me go in on this one, okay? So with the Rams and the Seahawks, this is what I'm looking at. The team that jumps out to the lead first is going to win this game. The reason why I say that, and I should specify, I don't mean a field goal, I mean a touchdown. The team that scores a touchdown first is going to win this game. And the reason why is because more so than any other stadium in the NFL, home field advantage means something in Seattle.
Yeah.
And they completely messed up the New York Jets last week. And all it took was Seattle going down and scoring that first touchdown. After that, the Jets couldn't do anything on offense and on defense, which is their strong suit. Now, hear me out now. On defense, which is their strong suit, they couldn't communicate. They couldn't hear each other out there. That's why I'm telling you right now, whoever scores that first touchdown is going to win this game. Now, I believe it's going to be the Rams. I believe the Rams are going to come out here and they're going to do everything in their power to win this game. And the reason why I believe that is because I believe the Rams under Baker Mayfield have been rejuvenated. Because they obviously believe in Matthew Stafford. They have no reason not to believe in him, but he's been hurt. And when they had other backup quarterbacks in, they were playing like trash. But Baker Mayfield came over, and he needs every single guy in that locker room just like they need him.
Oh, he's trash.
Because right now, there's a lot of players on that Rams roster who are fighting for roster jobs next year. Because you got a lot of guys out there playing that normally don't play for the Rams. As far as, starting every single game, game in, game out. So I think Baker Mayfield is going to lead this team to victory. I think Baker Mayfield's going to make his statement. And he made a pretty good statement against the Broncos defense, and they're one of the best in the league.
They suck.
So I think Baker Mayfield leads the Rams to a victory. I will say this. I don't think Seattle's in the market for a quarterback. I think they found their guy in Geno Smith. I really do. I think they are happy with Geno. I think Geno's happy with them. The only thing that, and I'll say this about Seattle, even though this is not a Seahawks show, the only thing that could screw this up for Seattle moving forward is if a Case Keenum type situation happens. What I mean by that is when Case Keenum had a magical season with the Minnesota Vikings, he lost his offensive coordinator. His offensive coordinator went and became the head coach for the Giants, and then Case Keenum went to the Broncos on a big money deal, and it just didn't work out. He could never find that same chemistry again. So for Geno Smith, if for some reason another team out there is like, we want Geno's services and he does it, I don't think he's going to find that type of magic again. But I do think he did find something good in Seattle, and Seattle should be given a lot of credit for the fact that they stuck with Geno when everybody was laughing at them saying, Geno Smith, really? That's your starting quarterback? They're tanking. They weren't. So again, though, I think the Rams win this game. I think Jalen Ramsey's probably, if he's healthy, Jalen Ramsey's probably going to be lined up against DK Metcalf. That's going to be a big thing, a big point of emphasis. And like Reggie said, Kenneth Walker is no joke. He's somebody that I actually wanted the Lions to draft last year, and they didn't. But I think he's a good running back for them, and that's going to be a concern. You also got Tyler Lockett as well. But for this game, my prediction, whoever scores the first touchdown is going to win this game. That's what I think's going to happen.
Hey, Elijah, just to back you up in everything that you're saying, the Rams are 3-1 in the last 2 years against the Seahawks. 2 of those wins were in Seattle. And the one loss that they did have was with Wolford at quarterback. He threw 2 picks. So right now,
they're due.
Yeah.
They're due. Because they're not a consistent team. I mean, that's why they're 8-8, because they're not consistent. But like I said, for me, I think whoever scores that first touchdown, they're probably going to win that game. And if it's Seattle, you're going to see them score that first touchdown, and then you won't be able to hear in that building after that, because they take fan participation seriously there. And I think we do too in Ford Field. We actually did this year. But like I said, for them, it's a completely different animal. But again, I got the Rams winning it because we need them to at 4:25 on Sunday. Let's get into this Lions-Packers game, and I want to open it up here for discussion. If Packer Girl wants to join the podcast for a minute, she can come on and say her piece. Otherwise, we're going to keep it moving. Bobby Bless.
We're going to keep it moving. It's just simple. Because I got to live here.
Oh, there we go. 24-10 Lions. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, should I? Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So that is
only because I got to live here, Elijah. Because I got to live here, man. That's the only reason why.
I get it. Reggie, your thoughts on this Packers-Lions game? You said last week it would be your Super Bowl.
This is our Super Bowl right now. And you getting Aaron Rodgers back for years of. I'm not going to use those negative words. But he should be really scared because of what just happened to Justin Fields. I think the Lions are going to come to play. I think they're going to put all the pressure in the world on him. He's not going to have an excuse this week. All that crying he be doing. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Salt baked cookie. Yeah, I
saw that boy a soft batch.
He is soft baked batched cookie.
Oh man.
I never thought I would see somebody. I never thought I would see somebody ride off into the sunset backwards. like that's what we looking at with Aaron Rodgers. There ain't nothing graceful about what he's pulling off right now.
Normally when they ride off in the sunset backwards because they dead and been shot.
Exactly move though. That's how my man is leaving. So
oh man.
My prediction is gonna be 35-28 Lions. But he's going to get sacked 4 times.
Nate.
I've got Lions. 28-10.
Damn, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That doggone, that bumba clot and Poe, Mr. who's came out previous years. Relax. All that type of crap. So now he's blaming everybody. He's blaming the wide receivers for him throwing an interception. You were so dog, the ball was 10 feet in the air. How was I gonna get it? Like, he's blamed everybody. The best thing, the best service the Lions can do, put him out of his misery. Like an old rescue dog with no teeth. Just go ahead and put him down. Go ahead, put him down. Do Green Bay fans a favor. I know Green Bay fans is tired of him.
You know what? I really be getting old Yeller vibes with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
just take him out back.
Yeah, just take him back. These Packer fans.
Take him out back.
Tired of him. I know the Packer fans is hoping that Aaron Rodgers don't finish this game. So let's be on one accord and knock him out. Just go ahead, get him down. Take his little bunny, send him home, and let's get it over. So 28-10, Lions, Rams win, playoffs. And then guess what? In the second season, Dan Campbell has surpassed the big baloney in 2 years.
Hey Nate,
man, year and a half.
It's really gotta burn Aaron Rodgers to know that he's behind Breeze and Brady and all these multi-champions can't get the job.
Well,
done.
Breeze not a multi-champion.
Breeze only got one.
He's still better than them.
I mean, I can't say.
No, I'm not taking him over Breeze. I'm not taking Breeze over him.
I'm sorry.
13 Pro Bowls to 10.
Yeah, but he's had better. He's had more of a consistent head coach. But when you're talking about yardage, talking about completions,
More touchdowns.
touchdowns versus interceptions. I'm taking Rodgers. This ain't even the Rodgers show, but sorry, I'm not taking Breeze over Aaron Rodgers.
571 touchdowns to 474 Drew Brees. Wait.
Yeah. What's the interception difference?
I'll tell you in 1 second.
It's a big difference, but
it's a huge ass difference.
It's a big ass difference.
Give me 1 second. Give you all the facts.
So once Reggie does that, I'm gonna go.
No, you can go ahead.
No.
Fill in on the back end.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a reason. I really want people to think about what it is I'm gonna say, because I'm about to say some crazy shit in a minute. But
well, they'll just get to hear what we hear all the time. It's okay.
Exactly.
243 to 104.
Exactly. That is 130 plus interceptions.
He also has 100 more touchdowns.
I don't care.
I know you don't care, but it doesn't matter. He has 100 more touchdowns.
Look at the attempts. The attempts. When you talk about touchdown and yards and quarterbacks, you always gotta look at the attempts. Drew Brees a throwing motherfucker, and he just on sheer volume.
Right.
Sheer volume. Sheer volume.
It also means that if you throw more, that there's more chances for the other team to pick it, right?
Yeah, but
Brees wasn't throwing it far. He was
throwing it. Brees didn't throw it.
If I threw the ball 3,000 more times, 3,000 more times.
Yeah,
then
but
it's going to be more opportunities for the defense.
He threw a lot of checkdowns, man.
But it's also
he got a lot of highlights. Yeah, but he was playing 100 more years. So look at all them attempts, though.
Right. Look at their years of playing. Like, but still, like even when you're talking about completion percentage and all that, Aaron Rodgers just takes
17 years to 20.
Exactly. And you're talking about a guy in Breeze.
And I've never seen a downturn like what Aaron Rodgers is pulling off right now.
Shit, Breeze had it last year.
He's better than him. It doesn't matter.
Go
ahead, Elijah.
Before Breeze retired, they used to put Jameson there to throw the damn deep pass. I remember.
Right. Right. Drew Brees is on such a decline. They had Taysom Wilson, whatever the fuck his name, playing fucking quarterback. Nobody want to hear that shit.
You know, I'm about to pull both y'all niggas' cards.
You can't say that word on the camera.
Hey, we ain't about to be pro Aaron Rodgers before this game.
No, you put him with Breeze
this week.
You put him with Breeze.
That is not happening this week.
You should have left Breeze.
You get Sato, and I'm about to send something to you in an email.
Stupid, man.
Go ahead, Elijah.
All right. Here's the deal. Much like Bobby Bless, I have somebody in my life who is a major Packer backer. It is my father. He has talked to me more in this past week than he has the entire year. And the year is only 3 days old, okay? But he is excited for this game. I don't think he'll be excited at the end of it.
Me either.
My score prediction. And remember that Elijah was a prophet.
Yep.
Lions, 42.
Ooh.
Packers, 3.
Ooh.
That's my
Hey, obviously the gloves are off.
Now, here's why.
Hey, listen,
here's why I say that. Here's why I say
Bobby's moving to Canada. If that happens, Bobby's moving to Canada because she is not going. Boy, he wouldn't be able to eat. She ain't gonna feed him. She ain't gonna do shit if they do that to them.
Here's why I say that.
I think I'm going to call Tyrone.
So here's why I say that. Here's why I say that. So the first time we played them, if y'all remember, we beat them 15-9. We barely had any offense whatsoever. It was mostly our defense, which was playing really, really well at the time.
Yeah, that's the game I went to.
And offensively, I think most of our guys were injured.
True.
We got all that firepower back.
Oh, yeah, we were
And
hurt.
when we have played NFC North teams, we have scored a lot of points this season. Outside of that one Green Bay game, I don't think we had another game against an NFC North team. Reggie can look this up because maybe I'm wrong. But
we didn't. We only lost one division game so far.
But I think we only had one game against NFC North teams where we scored less than 20. And it was
that was the Green Bay game. That's it.
That's it.
If you get Jared Goff with no mittens at Lambeau
He
Field,
can't have the gloves. The gloves is the deal changer for me.
But if you get him with all his weapons and that rushing attack and that defense playing the way that it did last week, listen, I know Green Bay scored a crap ton of points last week, but that was like
Minnesota's sorry as fuck.
But that was an anomaly. That's not what they normally do. That's not what they normally do. And they did it against Kirk Cousins, who was playing outside of the 1 o'clock time slot.
Hey, you did say when he on play at that time, Kirk Cousins be playing drunk.
Unless it's 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins is not your guy. But my point is, you get that great defense, that defense that is hungry to make a statement. You get that offense who is hungry to make a statement. And you got that coach who has played for the Lions in the past. I'm telling you, something special is happening on Sunday night. Regardless of whether the Rams beat the Seahawks or the Seahawks beat the Rams, they don't give a shit about that when they kick off that game. What they care about is beating the Packers in Lambeau. I think they do it 42-3. And I know that's going to be a lopsided score, but I really believe that could happen because, again, the Packers scored a lot of points last week, but it's not like they do that every single week. Reggie, I think you were looking up some numbers for me. Am I right?
Yeah, so I'm looking at this. The lowest points that we've scored against an NFC North team has been 24. Outside of that Packers game. If we
24, a decent amount.
You said 42?
I said 42. 42-3. That's what I said.
We scored 42 points. That'll be the second highest total that we've had this year. We had 45 against Seattle. Of course, 41 against Chicago. So that'll be our third 40-point game. I'm sorry, our fourth one. We had 40 against Jacksonville.
And like we got the offense to do it.
Oh yeah.
I think this is a game that Jamal gets his record. I think Jared Goff has a dandy of a game, even if all he is doing is throwing it to tight ends. I think he's gonna have a big game. And
wide open, man. You better throw it to him.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a tough day at the office. I really do. I mean, we don't even know if his rookie wide receiver that he's been given so much shit to is even really going to be 100% in this game. We don't know that. And as long as we can stop the run, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about it. But the last point that I'll make on this game is that our guys have not had the opportunity to play on national television outside of our Thanksgiving Day game. And if y'all remember, in that Thanksgiving Day game, I said, I will be curious to see how this young team performs on national television because no matter what anybody tells them, they're probably going to be a little bit nervous because it's the first time they're doing it. It's not the first time anymore, and they weren't nervous against Buffalo. So I think they're ecstatic for this game. And you know Jamal Williams is going to have them pumped up to play this game. So for me, I'm going with the big score, which would make Bobby Bless show up on my doorstep, 42-3. That's what I got.
That'll be the
I'm
fourth
waiting
time.
for Nate to pop back on because Nate hopped out for a minute, and I don't think he meant to. So
that'll be the fourth time that Aaron Rodgers has missed the playoffs as well.
And I think it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I mean, not to add fuel to the fire in the Bobby Bless household, but I mean, if the Seahawks beat the Rams, and I don't want them to, but if they do, that's even more reason for the Lions to go buck wild on the Packers. Because to think about it, we could actually stop him from going to the playoffs. I
That'd
mean,
be
come
cool.
on now. That's a great opportunity.
And that's a lot of momentum
And,
going
and,
to the
fin-
playoffs.
and finish the season with a winning record.
Right.
And what did I tell you earlier about momentum in the playoffs?
Yeah, I know.
I didn't say we looking mighty New York Giantish.
Right. And I'm telling you, every single analyst that talks about our team, they all say the same thing. You do not want Detroit to make the playoffs. You don't want them to. I mean, Jalen Hurts is not the same Jalen Hurts that he was when he played us in the first week of the season, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
He's banged up.
Lost to them by 3.
You know, Tampa Bay against us, forget about it, man.
We ain't gonna see them though.
We could beat Dallas, I think, right now.
That's the only one though, man, because Dallas kind of stumped us out, bro. But we were hurt though.
I mean,
We were hurt.
Jacksonville beat Dallas, and we beat the crap
We
out of
dogged them.
Jacksonville. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's where I'm at right now. I know that we still have more to do in this show, but Nate has not popped back on yet. So I think we'll go to closing remarks. We'll close out this show. Maybe we could do a special video at some point this week with the SVU and the SBA. But I don't want to do it without Nate being here because that's his thing. So what we'll do is we'll do our closing remarks here. I think Nate's phone must have died on him or something because normally by now he would join back in. I know he was loving that score prediction, so I know we didn't make him mad or nothing. I think his phone just died. But anyway, let's get to closing remarks here. It's been a fun show. Reggie, your closing remarks, my friend.
Go Stafford. Boo Radley.
Bobby.
My closing mark, 24-10 Lions.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, but if you're going to do that, you better tell her what my score prediction was.
42-3.
Yeah.
Right?
42-3.
Yeah.
Woo.
I at least spotted them 28 points.
Hey, this is an empty the cupboard type game. You're going to empty every single can of whoop ass we got in that cupboard this weekend. And then we're going to go to the grocery store and we're going to get some more whoop ass and get ready for these playoffs. That is what is about to happen. So my closing remarks, it's real simple. It's great to be doing this show with some awesome people. And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So I always say that. I mean it. Happy New Year to everybody that's tuning in here in 2023. We appreciate you not leaving us in 2022. So that's nice. We'll have another episode for you coming up next week. We hope to be talking playoffs with you next week. We'll see what happens. And again, you're rooting for the Rams this weekend and you're rooting for the Lions like you always do. This has been the On the Hunt podcast for Nate, Reggie, Bobby, and myself. Have yourself a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lions.
Go Lions.